Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Celine and today I'm going to be bringing you a very simple but delicious and decadent dessert that should be in everyone's repertoire for things that they can just whip up and blow people's minds. And this is shortbread. Probably the most simple cookie and the most basic cookie. It's pretty much just butter and sugar and flour, and there's all sorts of different ratios that people use, but this one I think is wonderful. The only ingredient that's a little strange that you might need to run out and get is white rice flour. So I'm gonna begin. I'm gonna weigh out all my measurements. You don't have to. I will put in the description box all the whole recipe, but also the measurements in just cups and also in grams. But I'm going to be doing 240 grams of flour. Now I'm using bread flour, but that's really just because I don't have any all-purpose flour right now. I think the recipe does call for all-purpose flour, but I've done it with this. I've done the recipe with this bread flour and it works fine. Okay, I went a little bit over. So this recipe is a base recipe and I'm just going to be doing it plain today. Just plain shortbread with some sugar on top, as you'll see. Okay, well, before I continue, I'm going to now add 36 grams of rice flour. Now, as I was saying, this is a base recipe, but you can do lots of really fun, exciting things with this recipe. I think I got a little extra of that. You can do an orange flavored shortbread. That's one of my favorites. You could do orange flavor with chocolate. You could do lemon. You can just put chocolate chunks right into the shortbread. That's always good. Now I'm going to add 62 grams of white sugar. And you're gonna need more of this for later when we when we pour some on the top at the end while they're still warm. Okay, now the last thing of the dry ingredients is 2 grams of salt. Now I am using salted butter, so really I probably could leave out the salt, but I like my desserts kind of salty. And then I have now, before I pour this in, I'm gonna whisk this. So these are the dry ingredients, and then the only thing left to add is butter. So I have 16 tablespoons or a cup of butter melted, and I'm just gonna mix this in. And I have done this recipe with butter that is just at room temperature, and I make it in the KitchenAid that way, and it works great. I think it turns out just as well, so whatever you want to do. Okay, so this cookie dough is going to come together very quick. It just takes a little bit of mixing, and then you should have the oven preheated to 350 degrees, which I do, and then you should also have a pan prepared with some parchment paper. Now, I should be doing this in an 8x8 pan, but this is a 9x9 pan, and it works just fine. I'm just going to cut down the baking time a little. So, this is what the dough looks like. Wow! And you just dump it in. Ooh. And press it with your hands into the bottom of the pan. Now I'm just going to bake this for 35 minutes and check it because of my larger pan and the cookie is spread out thinner. It will bake a little quicker. But if you're doing the 8x8 pan, then you should bake it for 40 to 45 minutes. They smell so good and they look beautiful. So you can see that they're a golden color here. And at this point, I'm going to take some sugar, no specific amount, just kind of sprinkle some on top. And then I like to just kind of roll it around so it coats the top evenly. It makes it very beautiful in my opinion, kind of glittery. And then I will let them cool some and cut them. And just a few things I thought about that I should have said earlier. You know, you can replace the white rice flour with cornstarch, and that works just as well. That's really the only tip I forgot. These are so delicious, they'll keep for weeks, but I promise you will not have them around that long. They're very, very addictive. They taste like they're from the fanciest bakery ever, and they taste so complex in flavor, and they're just delicious. Some things are simple and are just not meant to be changed and altered, and sometimes complicated things are not better than just the simplest, most basic cookie. I hope you make this. Let me know if you do, and put it in the comments, and please subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.